As we age, our bodies go through many changes, and one of the most concerning changes for many people is memory decline. While forgetting things every once in a while is completely normal, there's a difference between the occasional forgetfulness and the subtle signs of memory decline that can begin after 60. You might find yourself repeating the same question, struggling to remember a name, or feeling anxious about things you don't normally worry about. These small, often overlooked signs might be early indicators of memory changes that could affect your daily life. In today's video, we'll explore why memory decline can start quietly after age 60, the common signs to look out for, and most importantly, what you can do to protect and enhance your memory. It's natural to feel concerned when you notice these changes, but the good news is that with the right strategies and lifestyle adjustments, you can maintain your mental sharpness and cognitive health. Let's dive into why memory changes occur, how you can spot the early warning signs, and what steps you can take to improve your memory today. I know you are a person who likes to watch videos quietly. If you have not liked and subscribed to the channel, now is a good time to do it because you are a kind person. If the video is helpful, press 1. If the video is not good enough or needs improvement, press 2. Thanks everyone. Now let's get started. Number 1. What is memory decline and why does it happen after 60? As we age, it's common for many of us to notice changes in our memory. Maybe we forget where we put our keys or struggle to recall a name that we used to remember easily. These are moments we might brush off, thinking that everyone forgets things from time to time. But what happens when these little lapses in memory become more frequent, or when they start to interfere with your day-to-day activities? At what point do these memory issues signal something more significant? Memory decline is a natural part of aging, but it's important to understand that not all memory problems are the same. There's a significant difference between normal age-related memory changes and the early stages of cognitive decline, or even conditions like Alzheimer's disease. While it's normal for memory to be a bit slower as we age, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will lose your ability to think clearly or remember important events. So why does memory start to decline after age 60? To understand this, we need to look at what happens in the brain as we age. As we grow older, our brains undergo changes that are a part of the natural aging process. One of the most significant changes is that our brain cells, or neurons, begin to slow down in their ability to communicate with each other. This slowdown affects our ability to store and recall information as easily as we did when we were younger. The hippocampus, a part of the brain that is responsible for memory and learning, also begins to shrink with age. As the hippocampus shrinks, it becomes harder for the brain to form new memories or to recall information that was stored a long time ago. This is why it's common for people over the age of 60 to experience difficulty remembering names, appointments, or small details that they would have easily recalled in their younger years. However, these changes don't always mean there's a serious problem. In fact, many of the memory issues we experience as we age are simply due to the slowing of brain activity that naturally occurs with age. It's also important to note that our memory declines in different ways. Some people may experience short-term memory loss, where they forget recent events or details. Others might struggle with long-term memory, where they can't recall information from the past as easily. For some, working memory, the ability to remember and process information in real time, might be affected. These memory changes often go unnoticed because they happen gradually. You may find yourself misplacing things more often, or forgetting what you just read or heard. You might walk into a room and forget what you were looking for, or find it difficult to recall someone's name, even though you've known them for years. These small, seemingly insignificant incidents can be frustrating, but they don't always signal a serious problem. In many cases, they are simply part of the normal aging process. But why does this happen? Why does memory tend to decline more noticeably after age 60? The answer lies in a combination of genetics, lifestyle factors, and environmental influences. Genetics can play a significant role in how our brain ages. If you have a family history of Alzheimer's or dementia, you might be more likely to experience memory decline earlier. But genetics isn't the only factor. Lifestyle plays a huge role in brain health as well. Factors like poor diet, lack of exercise, chronic stress, and even insufficient sleep can contribute to memory decline and cognitive impairment. On the other hand, maintaining a healthy lifestyle by eating a balanced diet rich in antioxidants, staying physically active, and managing stress can slow down the process of memory decline. Research has shown that regular physical exercise not only helps your body stay healthy, but also supports brain function. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, helps create new brain cells, and improves cognitive function. Similarly, mental exercises such as reading, puzzles, or learning new skills can help keep your brain sharp and delay the effects of aging on memory. Sleep is also a critical factor in maintaining memory and cognitive health. During deep sleep, your brain consolidates memories and clears out toxins that may contribute to cognitive decline. If you aren't getting enough quality sleep, it can directly affect your ability to remember things and process new information. On the other hand, managing stress through relaxation techniques like meditation, deep breathing, and mindfulness can help maintain brain health by reducing the production of cortisol, a hormone that, when elevated, can negatively impact memory. In summary, while memory decline can start subtly after the age of 60, it's important to recognize that it doesn't always indicate a serious condition. The brain changes naturally as we age, and a slower ability to recall names or remember where we place something doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong. However, it's essential to pay attention to the early signs and take action to protect your memory. With the right lifestyle choices, including exercise, a healthy diet, mental stimulation, and stress management, you can maintain and even improve your memory as you age. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into the early signs of memory decline that you should watch for and how to differentiate between normal aging and something more serious. Number 2, early signs of memory decline, repeating words or questions. One of the most common early signs of memory decline, especially after the age of 60, is the repetition of words or questions. You may find yourself asking the same question multiple times, or perhaps repeating stories or comments that you've already shared with someone. This is often one of the first noticeable signs that something is changing in the way your brain processes and recalls information. While we all forget things from time to time, and it's perfectly normal to ask a question once or twice, when the repetition becomes more frequent or happens in situations where you should have remembered, it can be a sign of mild cognitive changes. For example, you might ask the same person, "How are you?" in the same conversation, or forget that you've already told someone about an event you attended. You might even notice that you're repeating the same story to a family member, not realizing that you've already shared it. This repetitive behavior is often subtle at first, but over time, it can become more noticeable. This is primarily due to the slowing down of the brain's ability to store and retrieve information efficiently. As we age, the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning, undergoes changes that can affect how we form and recall memories. When the brain struggles to hold on to or access information, it may lead to a sense of familiarity with a question or a topic, but no clear recollection of the fact that the same thing has already been said or asked. This repetitive behavior, although frustrating, is often harmless in the early stages of memory decline. It is simply the brain trying to process information and make connections. But without the usual speed or accuracy it once had, the challenge comes when the repetition starts to interfere with daily life or causes social discomfort. For example, you may feel embarrassed when you realize that you've asked the same question multiple times, especially if you notice others growing frustrated or confused. This feeling of embarrassment can add to the emotional stress of memory decline, making the situation feel worse than it actually is. It's important to note that while repetition is a normal part of aging, it's also one of the first signs that cognitive function may be starting to change. This doesn't necessarily mean that you are developing a serious condition like dementia or Alzheimer's, but it can be a signal that the brain is no longer working as efficiently as it once did. In some cases, repeating questions or stories may be a result of other factors such as stress, fatigue, or even depression. Anxiety about forgetting things can sometimes create a cycle where you feel the need to ask questions again to reassure yourself. However, if the repetition becomes more frequent Or if you begin to feel disoriented or unable to recall basic information, like familiar faces, names, or common tasks, it may be worth consulting a healthcare professional. Early intervention can help determine if there's an underlying cause and can provide strategies to manage or slow down cognitive changes. Keeping track of these signs and discussing them with your doctor can ensure that you receive the appropriate care and support. So, how can you manage this early sign of memory decline? There are several ways to cope with and reduce the impact of repeating words or questions. One helpful strategy is to keep a notebook or a daily journal where you jot down important information that you don't want to forget. This can include simple notes like, "I already asked you about that," or "I told you about the trip last week." Keeping a daily log of key events, dates, and tasks can help you stay on top of your memory and reduce the need to repeat questions. Another strategy is to set reminders on your phone or in a planner. For example, if you're someone who tends to ask about appointments, set a daily reminder for yourself to check the schedule, rather than relying on memory alone. These small organizational tools can help you stay on top of your day-to-day activities without constantly needing to ask others. Additionally, staying mentally active is crucial for keeping your memory sharp. Engaging in activities that stimulate your brain, such as reading, playing word games, or even learning a new skill or language, can help to maintain cognitive function and memory recall. The more you engage your mind, the better your ability to remember and process information will be. Lastly, communication is key. If you're finding that repetition is becoming a noticeable issue, talk about it with your friends and family. Explain that you might repeat yourself occasionally and that it's not intentional. This will help them understand what's happening and reduce any frustration or misunderstanding. Being open about these changes allows you to have supportive conversations and can ease the stress that often comes with memory decline. In conclusion, while repeating words or questions is a common early sign of memory decline, it is not necessarily a cause for alarm. It's part of the natural aging process, but it's still important to recognize it as a signal from your brain that changes are occurring. By staying organized, active, and communicative, you can manage these early signs of memory decline and maintain a positive outlook. If the repetition becomes more frequent or more disruptive, don't hesitate to consult with a doctor to rule out any underlying health conditions. Remember, early intervention can make a big difference in preserving your cognitive health. In the next section, we will explore another early sign of memory decline: forgetting names and familiar words, and what it means when these lapses become more common. Number 3, forgetting names and common words. One of the most common and often concerning signs of memory decline is forgetting names and common words. For many people, the ability to remember someone's name or recall a familiar word is a basic part of daily life. However, as we age, we may start to notice that remembering names of people we know well, or even recalling common words in conversation, becomes more difficult. This can be frustrating and worrying, especially when it feels like these lapses in memory are happening more frequently. Forgetting names is something that most people experience occasionally, regardless of age. However, when it starts happening regularly or with increasing severity, it can signal that memory decline is beginning to affect your cognitive function. You may find yourself meeting someone new and having difficulty recalling their name just moments after they introduce themselves. Or perhaps, more troubling, you might forget the names of close friends or family members, even though you've known them for years. At the heart of this issue is the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for forming new memories. The hippocampus is also involved in the storage and retrieval of names and other personal details. As we age, this part of the brain can undergo changes that affect its ability to store and recall names quickly and accurately. The result is often a delay or difficulty in remembering names, especially when under pressure to recall them in conversation. In addition to names, common words can also become harder to retrieve as memory declines. You might find yourself struggling to recall a word in the middle of a sentence, or using a vague or incorrect word because the right one just won't come to mind. This is known as a word-finding difficulty and is a normal part of aging. However, when it becomes frequent or more noticeable, it may indicate early stages of memory decline or mild cognitive impairment. You might find yourself describing a thing because you can't recall its name, or using terms like that thing or what's it called when trying to explain something that you would have had no trouble naming in the past. These moments of forgetfulness can feel frustrating, especially if you are someone who has always prided yourself on being mentally sharp. The embarrassment or awkwardness that comes with forgetting a name or a word in conversation can make you feel self-conscious. You may worry that others are noticing, or worse, that you are losing your mental edge. But while these lapses in memory can be concerning, it's important to remember that they don't always mean something serious is happening. Forgetting names and words is actually quite common as we get older. It's a sign that the brain's processing speed may be slowing down, making it harder to access certain types of information quickly. This is part of the natural aging process, and it doesn't necessarily point to dementia or Alzheimer's disease. However, it's still a good idea to pay attention to how often these lapses occur and to make adjustments in your daily routine to help keep your memory sharp. There are several ways to cope with and improve your ability to recall names and words. One of the most effective strategies is to practice memory exercises that help strengthen the brain's ability to retain and retrieve information. Engaging in activities that challenge your brain, like crossword puzzles, reading, or playing word games, can help stimulate your memory and keep your mind active. You might also try learning a new skill, taking up a hobby, or even learning a new language. All of these activities can help improve the brain's ability to store and retrieve information. Another useful technique is repetition. When you meet someone new, try to repeat their name a few times in conversation. For example, say, "It's nice to meet you, John," or "So John, what do you do for work?" By saying their name out loud, you're reinforcing the connection between the person and their name, which can make it easier to remember later on. Similarly, when trying to recall a word that's on the tip of your tongue, take a moment to pause and think about similar words or concepts. Often, just slowing down for a moment can help you access the right word or phrase. Visualization is another effective technique for remembering names and words. When you meet someone, try to visualize their name written out in your mind or associate their name with something familiar, such as a place or object. The more connections you make in your mind, the easier it becomes to recall information later on. If you find yourself frequently forgetting common words in conversations, it can be helpful to use context clues. Rather than stressing over a missing word, try to describe what you're talking about in other ways. Often, this can help you continue the conversation without feeling embarrassed. And remember, it's okay to admit when you can't remember a word. Everyone experiences this from time to time. Writing things down can also be a useful tool for improving memory. Keep a small notebook or planner with you and jot down names, important dates, or words that you've struggled to remember. Reviewing these notes regularly can help reinforce your memory and give you a reference when you need it. Using technology, such as reminder apps or voice memos, can also assist in keeping track of important information. It's also important to remember that stress can exacerbate memory problems. If you're feeling anxious about forgetting names or words, that anxiety can make it even harder to recall them. Try to relax and give yourself permission to forget occasionally. Mindfulness practices like deep breathing, meditation, or yoga can help reduce stress and improve memory function over time. In conclusion, forgetting names and words is a common part of the aging process, and while it can be concerning, it doesn't always point to something serious. By practicing memory-boosting activities, using techniques like repetition and visualization, and reducing stress, you can help maintain your cognitive function and improve your ability to remember names, words, and important details. If memory loss starts to interfere significantly with your daily life, it's important to seek advice from a healthcare professional to rule out any underlying conditions. In the next section, we'll explore another early sign of memory decline: unexplained anxiety or worrying about everyday things. This can also be a subtle but important indicator that something is changing in the way your brain processes information. Number 4, unexplained anxiety or worrying about everyday things. As we age, it's not unusual to experience more worry or anxiety. Life changes, health concerns, and the natural process of aging can cause a certain level of stress. However, when these feelings of anxiety become more frequent, more intense, and seem to appear out of nowhere, especially over small, everyday issues, it could be a subtle sign of memory decline or other cognitive changes. For many older adults, anxiety is not just about major life events or concerns. It can also manifest as a constant sense of unease about things that normally wouldn't cause any stress. You might find yourself excessively worrying about everyday tasks or decisions, like whether you locked the door, whether you remembered to take your medication, or even whether you said something wrong in a conversation. It's easy to dismiss these feelings as simple worry, but when they start happening frequently or become overwhelming, they may signal a deeper issue. Anxiety related to memory changes is often rooted in uncertainty. As memory begins to decline, there can be a growing sense of confusion or doubt. When you forget something important or don't remember where you put something, you might feel anxious about it. The brain, which once had no trouble retaining and recalling information, suddenly seems unreliable. This can create a sense of fear or panic about losing control over one's thoughts and abilities. For example, you may start checking the locks on your doors multiple times before going to bed, even though you know you've already checked them. Or you may repeatedly ask your family or friends if you've remembered to do something, only to forget it again shortly afterward. This type of repetitive worry isn't necessarily linked to the actual task itself, but to the fear of forgetting or doing something incorrectly. This excessive worry is often accompanied by self-doubt. If you find yourself questioning your abilities, wondering if you can still perform everyday tasks like cooking or managing your finances, it can be an indication that the brain's cognitive function is being affected. This self-doubt may not always make sense in the moment, but it can start to interfere with your daily life. It may become harder to relax or enjoy the present as your mind keeps turning over what-if scenarios. It's important to note that anxiety and worry are common, but unexplained anxiety related to memory changes is different from typical worry. The kind of anxiety caused by memory issues is often disproportionate to the situation. For example, you might feel like you've lost control over your memory, even though the issue is relatively minor. You may feel fear or frustration without being able to pinpoint the cause of these feelings. When these feelings of anxiety increase, they can have a significant impact on your overall well-being. Anxiety and stress affect the body's physical health too, leading to issues like insomnia, high blood pressure, and even digestive problems. The longer anxiety persists, the more it can impact both your mental health and physical health, making it harder to focus, relax, or engage in daily activities. In some cases, anxiety may even lead to depression, especially if the worry becomes all-consuming or if you feel isolated in your experiences. The good news is that there are ways to manage and reduce this anxiety, especially when it's related to memory changes. Mindfulness practices can be incredibly helpful in addressing the root cause of anxiety. Taking time to focus on the present moment, whether through breathing exercises, meditation, or simply taking a quiet walk, can help calm the mind and reduce feelings of worry. Mindfulness allows you to acknowledge the anxious thoughts without letting them take over, and it can also help you develop a deeper sense of self-compassion as you navigate the challenges of aging. Additionally, staying organized and creating routines can reduce the stress of forgetfulness. For example, keeping a daily calendar with important appointments or tasks, using reminder apps on your phone, or keeping a notebook with checklists can reduce the need to repeatedly ask yourself if you've forgotten something. By having systems in place to help you remember, you can ease your anxiety about memory loss. This will also allow you to focus more on enjoying your day-to-day life, rather than worrying about things that might slip your mind. Talking about these feelings with family or friends can also help reduce anxiety. By opening up about your memory concerns, you're allowing others to offer support and encouragement. This sense of support and reassurance can help you feel more confident and less anxious about your cognitive health. It's important to remember that you don't have to face these challenges alone, and that others who care about you are there to help. Another strategy to manage anxiety is to stay physically active. Regular exercise, such as walking, swimming, or yoga, can help reduce anxiety and improve overall well-being. Exercise releases endorphins, the body's natural mood boosters, which can improve both your physical and mental health. Moreover, physical activity can stimulate brain function, helping to keep memory sharp and reducing feelings of stress or anxiety related to cognitive decline. In addition to physical activity, mental exercises like brain games, puzzles, or reading can help improve cognitive function and reduce feelings of anxiety about memory. The more you engage your brain in activities that stimulate thought and concentration, the more confident you may feel about your memory and cognitive abilities. It's also helpful to engage in social activities, as isolation can increase feelings of anxiety and stress. By staying socially active, you can improve your mood, boost your memory, and create a strong support network to help with any anxiety you may feel. If anxiety becomes overwhelming or begins to interfere with your daily life, it may be helpful to speak with a healthcare professional. Cognitive changes can sometimes be accompanied by mental health issues, such as anxiety or depression. A healthcare provider can help assess the situation and provide guidance, whether that's through counseling, medication, or lifestyle changes. In conclusion, unexplained anxiety and worry about everyday things are common signs of early memory decline. As memory changes, it's natural to feel anxious about forgetting things or losing control. However, by incorporating mindfulness, staying organized, staying active, and seeking support, you can manage these feelings of anxiety and maintain a positive outlook on your cognitive health. If these feelings become more persistent, talking to a healthcare provider can offer additional solutions. Remember, taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health. In the next section, we'll explore how stress and lifestyle factors contribute to memory decline and what you can do to reduce their impact on your brain health. Number 5. How stress and lifestyle can accelerate memory decline. As we age, we naturally face many challenges, from changes in our physical health to the way our minds function. One of the more insidious threats to cognitive health, however, is something that is often overlooked: stress. While stress is something we all experience at various points in life, prolonged or chronic stress can have a significant impact on memory and overall brain health. For older adults, stress can accelerate memory decline and even contribute to more serious cognitive issues like dementia. Additionally, lifestyle factors such as diet, exercise, and sleep patterns also play a key role in how well we maintain our memory as we age. Chronic stress is one of the most detrimental factors when it comes to cognitive decline. When you experience stress, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which prepare your body to fight or flee from a perceived threat. In small doses, this response is helpful as it can sharpen focus and boost alertness. However, when stress is persistent, these hormones remain elevated in the body, which can start to take a toll on your brain, particularly on the hippocampus, the part of the brain that is crucial for memory formation and retrieval. Over time, elevated cortisol levels can damage brain cells in the hippocampus, leading to a reduction in brain volume. This shrinkage makes it harder for the brain to perform tasks related to memory and learning. You may begin to notice that it takes longer to recall information, or that you're forgetting things more often than you used to. Chronic stress can also affect your brain's ability to form new memories, which is why people under high levels of stress often find it difficult to focus, retain new information, or remember important tasks or dates. But stress isn't the only lifestyle factor that can affect your memory. Poor sleep, for example, is another key contributor to cognitive decline. As we age, it can become harder to get a good night's sleep, and this lack of rest can seriously impair our ability to remember and process information. During deep sleep, your brain consolidates memories from the day and clears out waste products that can contribute to cognitive decline. Without sufficient rest, this process is disrupted, and your brain doesn't get the chance to properly store memories or refresh itself for the next day. Many older adults experience insomnia or have difficulty staying asleep throughout the night. Whether it's due to physical discomfort, medication side effects, or simply the natural changes that occur with age, not getting enough restorative sleep can have a serious impact on memory. The more sleep disturbances you have, the more likely it is that your cognitive function will decline over time. If you're not getting quality sleep, your memory and ability to think clearly may start to suffer. A poor diet can also play a major role in accelerating memory decline. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing nutrients from food, and many older adults may not be eating enough of the right nutrients that are necessary for brain health. Diets high in processed foods, sugars, and unhealthy fats can contribute to inflammation in the brain, which has been linked to cognitive decline. Inflammation can affect the brain's ability to communicate properly and make it harder to form new memories or retrieve old ones. On the other hand, nutrient-rich foods that are high in antioxidants, vitamins, and healthy fats can support cognitive health. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, such as salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds, have been shown to support brain function and protect against memory decline. Additionally, leafy greens, berries, and whole grains are packed with vitamins and minerals that support healthy brain function. By making healthy food choices, you can reduce inflammation, support your brain cells, and protect your memory from the negative effects of poor diet. Regular physical exercise is another lifestyle factor that can have a powerful effect on memory. Exercise is known to improve circulation and increase the flow of oxygen and nutrients to the brain, which helps to enhance cognitive function. When you engage in physical activity, your body releases chemicals like brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which helps promote the growth of new brain cells and supports the health of existing ones. This is particularly important for older adults, as exercise helps protect against cognitive decline and improves memory. Studies have shown that aerobic exercise, such as walking, swimming, or cycling, is particularly beneficial for maintaining cognitive health as we age. Even low-impact activities such as stretching or yoga can help increase blood flow to the brain and improve mental clarity. Regular physical activity also helps regulate stress and anxiety, which, as we've discussed, can negatively affect memory. By incorporating physical exercise into your routine, you can not only support your memory but also improve your overall well-being. Lastly, mental stimulation plays a crucial role in maintaining memory as we age. Engaging in activities that challenge your brain, such as reading, puzzles, or learning new skills, can help strengthen neural connections and improve your ability to remember and process information. When your brain is actively engaged, it's more likely to retain new information and less likely to experience memory decline. Mental exercise helps to keep the brain agile and resilient in the face of aging. In summary, stress and lifestyle choices have a significant impact on how we age, particularly when it comes to memory. Chronic stress, poor sleep, a poor diet, and lack of physical and mental exercise can accelerate memory decline and make it more difficult to retain and recall information. However, the good news is that by managing stress, improving sleep, eating a healthy diet, staying active, and engaging in mental stimulation, you can slow down memory decline and support your brain health well into your later years. These simple, everyday habits can help you maintain your memory, stay sharp, and improve your overall quality of life as you age. In the next section, we'll explore how stress and lifestyle factors directly contribute to memory decline and what you can do to reduce their impact on your cognitive health. Number 6, is memory decline a natural part of aging? As we age, one of the most common concerns many of us face is memory decline. Whether it's forgetting someone's name, misplacing items, or struggling to recall important details, memory lapses can feel like a natural part of growing older. But the question remains, is memory decline simply a part of aging, or is it a sign of something more serious? Let's take a closer look at how aging affects memory, how to differentiate between normal age-related memory changes and more serious cognitive issues, and what steps you can take to maintain your brain health as you grow older. The reality is that memory changes are a normal part of aging. As we age, it's not uncommon to experience a slowing down of cognitive processes. The brain undergoes structural changes, and certain parts of the brain, like the hippocampus, which is responsible for memory, shrink over time. This natural decline in brain volume can result in the occasional forgetfulness that many of us experience as we get older. So, forgetting a name or misplacing your keys once in a while is generally normal and not something to worry about. However, these memory changes shouldn't be confused with more significant issues. Mild cognitive impairment, MCI, and dementia, such as Alzheimer's disease, are not part of the normal aging process. While some forgetfulness is expected, conditions like MCI and dementia involve more severe memory problems that interfere with daily life. For example, individuals with MCI may experience consistent difficulty with memory and thinking that goes beyond what is typical for their age, and these problems may worsen over time. In contrast, normal age-related memory loss tends to remain stable or only mildly progress. There are some key differences between normal memory changes and more concerning memory problems. One sign that something might be more than typical aging is memory loss that interferes with daily life. For example, if you frequently forget important appointments or events and have trouble remembering how to perform familiar tasks, it may be a sign that something more serious is happening. If memory loss begins to affect your ability to maintain independence, such as forgetting to take medication or having trouble with personal hygiene, it may indicate a need for further evaluation. Another difference is memory lapses with greater frequency and severity. While it's normal to forget things from time to time, forgetting the same piece of information repeatedly, especially important or personal details, can be a sign that the brain's ability to process and store information is becoming impaired. If you find that you are consistently forgetting important details, such as family members' names, places you visited, or appointments, it might be time to consider seeking professional advice. The key here is pattern. If the lapses in memory are happening more often and are impacting your daily life, it's important to pay attention. Emotional changes can also play a role in how memory is affected as we age. Stress, anxiety, and depression can all contribute to memory difficulties. When you're feeling anxious or stressed, your brain's ability to retain and recall information can be affected. Depression in particular has been linked to memory problems, and it can make it more difficult to concentrate and remember things. These emotional states can create a feeling of brain fog, where it's harder to focus or think clearly. If you're experiencing these symptoms, it's important to address the emotional and psychological factors at play, as improving your mental health can often improve your cognitive function. So while some degree of memory decline is a natural part of aging, it's important to keep an eye out for signs that might indicate something more serious. And while it's normal to experience occasional lapses, it's also crucial to take steps to support your memory and maintain brain health as you age. Healthy lifestyle choices can make a huge difference in keeping your brain sharp, even as you grow older. One of the best ways to support brain health is to stay physically active. Exercise is known to increase blood flow to the brain, which can help promote the growth of new brain cells and protect against cognitive decline. Regular aerobic exercise, such as walking, swimming, or cycling, is especially beneficial for maintaining cognitive function. Studies have shown that physical activity can not only improve memory, but also delay the onset of dementia and other cognitive impairments. Along with physical activity, maintaining a healthy diet plays a critical role in brain health. Foods rich in antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamins like B12 and D can help protect the brain and reduce the risk of cognitive decline. Foods such as fatty fish, berries, leafy greens, and whole grains provide essential nutrients that nourish the brain and support memory. It's also important to stay hydrated, as dehydration can negatively affect cognitive function. Getting adequate sleep is another essential aspect of maintaining memory and cognitive health. During sleep, the brain consolidates memories and clears away toxins that can lead to cognitive decline. Ensuring that you get enough quality sleep each night is crucial for both physical and mental health. If sleep problems persist, it's important to consult a healthcare provider for advice and potential treatment options. Mental stimulation is just as important as physical health when it comes to preserving memory. Engaging in activities that challenge your brain, such as reading, puzzles, or learning new skills, can help maintain cognitive function and improve memory. Studies have shown that mental exercises like these can create new neural connections and support the brain's ability to adapt and retain information. The more you engage your mind, the more resilient it will be to the natural decline that occurs with aging. Finally, social engagement is essential for maintaining cognitive health. Staying socially active, whether through family gatherings, community involvement, or simply staying in touch with friends, can help improve memory and reduce the risk of cognitive decline. Socializing stimulates the brain, helps combat feelings of isolation, and can contribute to a greater sense of well-being. In conclusion, while some memory decline is a natural part of the aging process, it's important to differentiate between normal age-related changes and more serious cognitive issues. By paying attention to early warning signs and making healthy lifestyle choices, such as staying active, eating a nutritious diet, getting quality sleep, and engaging in mental and social activities, and you can support your memory and reduce the impact of age-related cognitive decline. If you notice that your memory lapses are becoming more frequent or interfere with daily life, don't hesitate to seek professional advice. Early intervention can help identify the cause and lead to strategies for improving cognitive health. In the next section, we'll explore the early signs of memory decline that you should watch for and how to manage them to maintain a sharp and healthy mind. Number 7, how to improve your memory. Tips for seniors. If you're concerned about memory decline as you age, you're not alone. Many people experience changes in memory as they get older. But the good news is that there are effective strategies to help maintain and even improve your memory. The key is to make small, sustainable changes to your daily habits that support brain health. By taking proactive steps to stay mentally and physically active, you can reduce the impact of memory loss and keep your mind sharp well into your later years. One of the most important things you can do for your memory is to stay physically active. Exercise is one of the best ways to support brain function and improve memory. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, which helps nourish brain cells with oxygen and nutrients. Regular exercise also encourages the growth of new brain cells and can enhance the connections between existing ones. It's well established that aerobic exercise, such as walking, swimming, or cycling, is particularly beneficial for maintaining cognitive function. Even just 30 minutes of moderate exercise a few times a week can make a big difference in your ability to recall information and process new memories. Exercise doesn't just benefit the brain, it also helps improve overall health. It can reduce the risk of chronic conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure, all of which can negatively impact memory. Physical activity can also improve sleep quality, which is crucial for memory consolidation. When you sleep, your brain works to organize and store the information you've learned during the day, so getting a restful night's sleep is essential for improving and maintaining memory. In addition to staying active, it's equally important to pay attention to your diet. What you eat can have a profound impact on brain health. Nutrient-rich foods can help protect the brain and improve memory, while poor eating habits can contribute to cognitive decline. A diet rich in antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, and essential vitamins is particularly beneficial for brain function. Foods like fatty fish, such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines, berries, leafy greens, and whole grains are all excellent choices for supporting memory. Omega-3s, found in fish and flax seeds, are especially important for brain health, as they help reduce inflammation and improve the function of brain cells. Antioxidants found in fruits and vegetables protect the brain from oxidative stress, which can contribute to cognitive decline. Similarly, B vitamins such as B6, B12, and folic acid play a crucial role in memory and cognitive function. These vitamins help protect the brain from damage and support the production of important neurotransmitters that are involved in memory formation. If you find it challenging to get enough of these nutrients from food alone, consider speaking with your healthcare provider about taking a supplement. Another essential aspect of memory improvement is getting enough sleep. Sleep is crucial for memory consolidation, the process by which short-term memories are converted into long-term memories. When you don't get enough sleep, your brain doesn't have the chance to organize and store the information you've learned throughout the day. If you have trouble sleeping, try to establish a consistent bedtime routine and make your sleep environment as comfortable as possible. Avoiding caffeine and electronics before bed, as well as practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation, can help improve your sleep quality. Besides physical health, mental stimulation plays a significant role in keeping your memory sharp. Just as your muscles need exercise, your brain needs challenges to stay strong. Mental exercises such as puzzles, crosswords, Sudoku, and brain games help keep your mind active and engaged. But it's not just about doing exercises. It's also about staying curious and learning new things. Taking up a new hobby, learning a language, or exploring a new area of knowledge can help stimulate your brain and improve your memory. The more you challenge your brain with new and complex tasks, the stronger your cognitive abilities will become. Social interaction is another crucial factor for maintaining good mental health and memory. Staying socially engaged can help reduce feelings of isolation, stress, and depression, all of which can negatively impact cognitive function. Engaging in meaningful conversations, participating in group activities, and maintaining relationships with family and friends can all help improve memory and protect against cognitive decline. Social activities also provide opportunities to learn new things, which further enhances brain function. Lastly, don't forget about managing stress. Chronic stress can be detrimental to memory, so finding ways to relax and reduce stress is essential. Mindfulness practices like meditation, yoga, and deep breathing exercises are effective ways to calm the mind, reduce anxiety, and improve overall well-being. Even taking a few moments each day to pause, breathe, and focus on the present can help alleviate stress and improve cognitive function. Reducing stress not only supports memory, but also helps maintain overall health. Creating a healthy routine that incorporates these strategies, staying active, eating well, sleeping enough, exercising your mind, socializing, and managing stress can help improve your memory and cognitive function. Remember, small steps lead to big changes, and it's never too late to start. Whether you're 60, 70, or older, adopting these habits can have a positive impact on your brain health and help you maintain your memory for years to come. In conclusion, improving your memory is not just about relying on genetics or waiting for something to happen. It's about taking active steps to nourish your brain and engage in activities that support cognitive function. By focusing on a healthy lifestyle that includes regular exercise, a balanced diet, mental stimulation, quality sleep, and stress management, you can significantly enhance your memory and maintain your cognitive abilities as you age. Conclusion: memory changes are a natural part of aging, but they don't have to limit your life. While occasional forgetfulness is common, paying attention to the early signs and taking proactive steps can help you maintain your cognitive health. By staying active, eating a nutritious diet, managing stress, getting quality sleep, and engaging in mental exercises, you can protect and improve your memory. Remember, it's never too late to make positive changes that can keep your mind sharp and your memory strong. Thank you for watching. Take charge of your memory health today for a brighter, sharper tomorrow. We really appreciate you spending time with us today. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a like and hit that subscribe button. It's a simple way to support our work, and it helps more people discover the tips they need to live healthier, happier lives. And if you want to stay up to date, just click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. See you again soon.